Hi, I'm Tall Paul, New Mexico's funniest family entertainer, and welcome to thepartytips.com, your weekly vlog that gives you party tips, tricks, and other things to make sure you have the best event ever. Today I'm talking with Susan Gomez of Rock Your Body Face and Body Art.
It's long. It's a mouthful.
It is. I almost said Rock Your Body Body. Which way comes first? Anyway,
Change it.
you don't need to change it. So we're here with Susan today, and she does face painting and body art for parties and corporate events.
Yes.
And what else?
What other events? Like public events, birthday parties, grand openings, things like that.
Okay.
It's great for anything. Really.
And what's your target market for the viewers that are looking? Who is a person that?
Well, I like to do children's birthday parties and then also large corporate events like employee appreciations or team building events. Things like that is a good thing.
So I'm sure you get a lot of frequently asked questions when people call or email you to find information. What are some of those questions?
What are my rates? Of course. They do ask how many kids I can paint in an hour, or in the time that they've allotted. They do ask about my setup a little bit, but mostly it's the rate and how many I can finish within an hour.
Okay, so I know you're probably like me when I do my magic. Rates are going to vary depending on how far you have to drive, how long you're going to be there, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I like to find out the number of faces approximately that they want painted, the part of town, because also I have other gigs booked, so I want to make sure that I can get to one or the other within a timely manner. I like to allow at least 45 minutes in between parties to get there. My setup is pretty small. I have a 4-foot table, 4x2, I believe, and then I have a stool, so I probably take up about a 4x4, 4x5 space.
Okay.
I do ask that they allow enough room for a line to form. So, but my actual setup is very small.
Lines could get pretty long in our...
Oh my gosh, yes.
The never-ending line. That could be the new song.
Yeah.
Never-ending line. Okay, so, we were talking a little earlier about questions. They don't ask enough questions. So what questions do you wish your clients, potential clients, would ask?
Well, whether it's me that they're trying to hire or any other face artist in town, I wish they would ask if you have insurance, if you have a business license, if you things like that, because it is important. If they show up and, poke a kid's eye with a brush, you could be held liable, and you don't want that. I do have, I'm fully insured. I've been in business for a long time. They should be asking what kind of paint is being used, all those fact-finding questions, because they don't want someone that's inexperienced to show up at their event. They should be asking for either a website or photos of their work. And, it does only take a little bit of research. If they send you some photos, you can also Google. Like if they send you some pictures that look very different from each other, if their website looks like, there's face paintings that are very beginner level to super extreme, then they may not be truthful with what they're advertising. So, just a little research, a little Google, check out the reviews, things like that.
Okay.
I would suggest that they ask, and, make sure that who's coming to their birthday party or their corporate event is actually legit.
And what kind of paints do you use, and what kind of paints should be used, and what kind of paint should be avoided? Should somebody ask?
Acrylic paints or anything that's not made for the skin should be avoided. Even though acrylic is non-toxic, it's still not made for the skin. It doesn't allow the skin to breathe. It's basically made out of plastic. It not only does it look awful, but it's bad for the skin. You could end up with somebody getting a reaction from it. Even though, lots of people paint with acrylic and they get it on their hands and it's okay for a little while, but you just don't want to be putting that on a child's sensitive skin.
Okay.
I use only paints made for the face and body. They're FDA compliant with the way like regular makeup that you would apply is made, so it's safe for the skin. Of course, anybody could have sensitive skin.
Yeah.
So, I always ask clients, in my contract it says too, if somebody feels like they may have sensitive skin, to do a patch test before we paint.
Okay. And do you have any tips that you would give to somebody planning an event?
I would say plan ahead. Definitely plan ahead, especially in the summer. Face painters do get booked up pretty far in advance. Sometimes there's a couple hour window in there that they can squeeze you in, but there's only a few in Albuquerque, so I would say plan ahead. Also, if your party starts at 4, have your entertainer show up at 4:30 or at 5. Especially here in Albuquerque, I find that people just tend to show up late, and so you don't want to waste that half hour or hour with your entertainer just entertaining the birthday kid or the 2 relatives that showed up to help you set up the party. So it's always that way, you get the maximum benefit from your entertainer.
And that was actually my biggest tip as well, is to plan ahead. And so I will leave the link again to my birthday party planner below on the website of thepartytips.com. Probably won't be connected on the other platforms that this will be posted on. I'll see if I can do that though. And anything else you'd like to add?
Have a great summer. Make sure you ask all those fact-finding questions. Face painting is great for any event. I mean, kids love it, adults love it. It's I did a 30-year-old birthday party. She was turning 30 and she wasn't going to turn 30 gracefully, so she had face painters, she had jumpy houses, all for adults. It was great. So it's good for anything. Your adult employees would love it. I've done, employee appreciation days and they just get into it really. It's nice to act like a kid once in a while.
Yeah, and it's always good to hire a face painter and a magician, because we work together a lot.
Yes.
It's always fun working with you.
Yes, I know. I always have a good time. I get excited when you walk in. I'm like, yay, Paul's here.
Same way.
Nice. Yes, so always plan ahead. Always plan ahead and ask those questions, and call around for different rates, and if you feel like they don't know what you're talking about as far as your questions, then I would just move on to the next one. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. I'm Tall Paul, reminding you to be kind to this day, because it's the only day of its kind.